Hello, this is Jedi Master from CodeForge, and today we're going to be learning how to write a Discord bot using the Java Discord API 3.6.0, also known as JDA 3.6.0. So to start, we're going to need to create a bot user through Discord. So to do this, we're going to go to discordapp.com/developers. And you'll be able to find any links I use in the description. And if you need to log in, go ahead and log in. Mine's going to automatically do that for me. And then you can go to My Apps and then tell it you want to create a new application. So right here, it's going to ask for a bot name. I'm just going to call mine Tutorial Bot. And then we'll also ask for an app description or an app icon. You don't need to add those right now. You'll be able to do that later. So we're going to go ahead and create an app. And it's going to give us several important pieces of information. So first, we have this client ID, which I'm just going to copy really fast and paste into a blank tab since we're going to use it in the next step. And then we're going to scroll down and we're going to see right here, create a bot user. This action is irreversible, but it's going to allow users to interact a little bit better with our bot. So it's going to quickly ask for confirmation, and we give it that. So that's going to give the bot an actual user account, the username, and a token. This token is not something you want to share with anyone. If someone does happen to get access to it, you can quickly generate a new token. And this will allow, this is basically what your bot uses to log in. If someone manages to get a hold of it, they are going to be able to log in as your bot, which could create issues since your bots tend to have elevated permissions. So next, we're going to scroll down on the left and go to Topics and then go to OAuth 2. And if we then scroll down again and tell it we want to go down to bots, we can see this link right here, this URL example under bot authorization flow. So if we just copy that, paste it into a new tab really fast, you can see right here that it's got a client ID that is equal to this number. And so what we need to do is we need to take this client ID that we just copied from earlier from our bot and just paste it in here. Make sure that you only replace the numbers, or else it won't be able to recognize which bot or which user this actually is. So we can go ahead and press enter. And it's going to ask for which server we want to add our bot to. So I'm just going to add it to my testing server. And then it's also going to ask for us to allow it the permissions that the thing is requested. And because it's requested permission 1, which is creating instant invites, it's asking us to allow or not allow that. I'll give you a link to a permissions generator in the description so that you can create whatever permissions and just add it as a number right here at the end. So I'm going to go ahead and authorize this bot, and it's going to ask to make sure that I'm not a robot. So it's going to quickly confirm that and authorize the bot. So now we can close both of these tabs. So now if we go over to Discord, this is my testing server, you can now see that the tutorial bot has been added to my test server right here. So good, you've now created a bot user and you've added it to Discord. So next, in order to make a Java Discord bot, we must have Java on our computer. So in order to get Java, you can go to www.oracle.com/tech-network and then /java/java.se/downloads/index.html. This basically is just going to take us straight to the downloads page for Java, and you want to download the most recent Java JDK, Java Development Kit. And that may not be 10.0.1, but that's what we're currently on right here. So you can go ahead and just click download that, and then run any installation processes that come as a result of this. And it'll take you actually to this download page where you can pick whichever one's applicable to your computer, whether it's Windows, Linux, or OS, Mac OS, or whatever you need to do. You also need to accept the licensing agreement in order to be able to do this. So You will also need to install an IDE, an interactive development environment, to be able to work on your code in. So for this tutorial, we're going to use Eclipse, which you can just go to www.eclipse.org/downloads, or just go to eclipse.org, and we go to download here. And we can just download Eclipse Oxygen. There might be a new version available later. And make sure that you get, right here it's defaulted to 64-bit since that works on my computer, but you might need the 32-bit later. So you can go ahead and quickly download that. So now you have Eclipse downloaded, so you can just quickly run this installer. And then you can select this Eclipse IDE for Java developers. You can go ahead and start the installation. I already have this installed, so I'm going to skip. You can just follow it through the rest of the way. And the last thing that we're going to need in order to be able to write our Discord bot is the actual JDA, the Java Discord API. So to get to this, you can just go to github.com/deviate from the world/JDA. Oops. And then /releases to get to all of their most recent releases of the Java Discord API. So then if you come in here, you're going to want to download these top three jar files right here. So we'll just click to download all of these. And that might take it a little bit of time, so and you probably will get a warning about these because they are Java files, so you want to go ahead and tell them to keep all of these files. And that's all that we need for getting started with our Discord bot. Next, we will go and we will actually write the code for our Discord bot. So we can now close out of our browser and we can open up Eclipse. So now you have Eclipse installed, and what you need to do now is you need to select a workspace. I would use the default workspace right here, which is just going to be in your users directory, whichever user you're currently on, and you can click to launch. So it's going to bring us up to this welcome screen, and we can just quickly close out of this welcome screen, and it will take us to where we will be editing our code in just a minute. And what we need to do now is we need to create a new project. So we're going to go to File, then New, and then Java Project. I'm going to call this project Tutorial Bot. And then make sure you select whichever version of the Java real-time environment that you have on your computer. For me, that's 1.8, but it may be different for you. Then we can go ahead and click Next, and we need to add the Java Discord API as a dependency to our project. So what we're going to do is we're going to go up to Libraries and then add an external jar. And this is where these jar files that you just downloaded become important. So mine are in my Downloads folder. And so I'm just going to tell it that I want to use with dependencies. This is the one that we're going to want to start with, is by adding with dependencies. So open that, and you can see it's added right here to jars on the build path. And if you expand it, you can see all these different things that are not included right here. So what we want to add is the other two jar files right here. So we have the source attachment. So we can just select that and then click Edit to add it. It's at an external location, so we grab it from an external file. And here it is, the sources. And we also want to do the same thing for the Java docs. Just edit Java doc and archive, make sure it's on external file, and then browse, and then Java doc. Then we can go ahead and click finish. That's all that we need. Now what we need to do is we need to add a new class to our project. So we're going to just click new Java class right here. And I'm just going to call this one main.java. And that's all we need to do. And it's going to create this first file for us. So you can see right here it's already just set up a basic class called main. So the first thing we're going to need to do is we're going to need to import part of the Java Discord API library into our project or into the C++ file so that we can use that as part of our program. So we're just going to need to quickly say import net.deviation.jda.core.account type. And we need to also grab several others, such as JDA right here and JD Builder. Oops, I left out a letter. So that's all that we're going to need to include in this file for our bot to be able to run. So now we need to create a main method. So we're going to say public static void main string args. And this is going to be the method that's run when we tell our bot to run. So first what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to create a new JD builder or JDA builder and cast that and put it into a JDA. So first we're going to say JDA, which we've already imported up here, and I'm just going to call this API. And so we're going to create a new JDA builder. And it's going to be of account type bot because we're building ourselves a bot. And then we need to go ahead and set a token, and this is where that token that we had from earlier becomes important. And so in here you're going to go ahead and put your key that we had from earlier. So I'm going to go grab mine really fast. If you remember, that page was Discord app.com/developers. And if you just go to my apps, and we can scroll down and grab this token that we didn't want to share with anyone. So you can just copy it and paste it into this area. Now make sure that you put it inside quotations. If you don't put it inside quotations, it will not work. This is because setToken reads this as a string. So now what we need to do is we need to tell it to build this JDA builder asynchronously. And good. So now we've created a new JDA builder and we've told it to build it into a JDA. So Next, we need to add an event listener so that our bot will detect when events happen, such as a user joining or a message being sent. So we say API, which was our JDA that we created up there, our JDA object, and we need to add an event listener. It's just going to be new, and then a class that we're about to create in a second that I'm going to call my event listener. Good, and it's going to give us an error because we still have yet to create this. So let's go ahead and go now create that class. So I'm going to tell it a new class, and it's important that you name it the exact same thing that you named it right there. So my event listener. And just go ahead and click finish. And we're going to need to include a couple important things in this one as well. So import net.deviation.jda.core.entities. And then we're going to want to include all of the entities in this one. Next, we want to import deviation.jda.core.events.message. And then we want the message received event that you see right here. And then we're also going to want to get one more thing, which is the hooks.listener adapter. And it looks like I added an extra letter right here. And that should be good. Yes, it looks like it's all good. So now we need to tell it this this right here, our event listener, actually extends a method or a class within the Java Discord API called listener adapter. And then that means, since listener adapter is what we call an abstract class, it means that we have to have a certain method called onMessageReceived for it to handle a message received event. So we're going to write a quick void method called onMessageReceived. And this is going to take a message received event as a parameter, and I'm just going to call it event with a, and I accidentally had a typo there. Good. So now what we're going to do is we're going to say if event point get author point is bot, we're going to return. So basically what this will do is if we detect that the author of the message was a bot, we're just going to ignore the message altogether. We don't want to be responding to any bots. If you do want to happen to respond to bots, then you can leave this line out. So next what we're going to do is we're going to create a message, and this is basically going to store the message that was sent via the event as a string. So we're going to say message, or we're going to create a new message, and I'm just going to call this our message right here. You can name this part right here pretty much anything that you want, as long as you're consistent with how you've named it. Then you can say event point get message. This is going to grab whatever message was sent in this event. Then we also want to, now that we have a message object, we're going to want to convert that into a string. And I'm just going to call this content. So we're going to then say message point get content raw. And then because we want to be able to respond in the same channel that the user sent their command in, we're going to say message channel is equal to event point get channel. Now we need to respond to our command. So first of all, we need to determine if this is the command that we intended for the user to send. So we're going to say if content point starts with, and then we're going to write a simple ping command. So if it starts with ping, then we're going to run this code. And this code is going to, what we want to do is we want to respond with a message that says Pong and the ping, or the latency to our Discord server. So channel, what we're going to say is we want to respond in that channel. So we're going to say channel point send message. And then we want to respond with the text Pong, which will be in quotations. And then we also want to send the event point get, we want to send the ping. So we're going to do that via event point get JDA point get ping point Q. And that will respond if a command that comes in that says ping, it will respond in the same channel with the word Pong and then the actual ping of the bot, the latency. So this bot now will respond to a ping command. One thing it will not do is it will not give you any notification if there's any errors in the way that you built your bot. So what we're going to do really quick is we're going to put a quick try catch block around our bot so that if something does happen to break, it will give you a little bit of information about what might have happened. So we're just going to tell it to try and then put all of this code that we wrote earlier inside this try block right here. And then because it's a try block, we also have to add a catch after it. We're just going to call it, or tell it to catch exception E. And then we want to E point print stack trace, which will give us some information about exactly what errors we saw. And we don't need any parameters within that. So now you have the basic parts of a ping bot. So you can click run, and you will see down here in the bottom of your screen a basic console, and it's going to give you some information about what's happened. So you can see we had a successful login and we finished loading. So now if we head over to Discord near my testing server, you can see that tutorial bot is now online. So what we can do is we can now try to ping it. So if we press ping, or if we type ping, it responds to our command. So there you have it, the basics of a very basic Java Discord bot. Another thing to note is because this is just over here in the event listener, because this is just an if statement, it will ignore any other messages that are sent, such as if I were to say, you know, anything that, like if I were to say the word hi, nothing happens because the bot does not detect that it's equal to the word ping with an exclamation point in front of it. So that's all you need to do to write a basic bot. To turn it off, you can click this little red terminate button right here. And the bot is now off. And if you go over back to Discord, it sometimes takes a second, but it will turn off within a minute or two. And so there you have it. One last thing for this video is the documentation for a Discord bot. Now, while it's nice to have a bot that's capable of responding to pings, it's always great to have a bot that can do a whole lot more than that. So if you want to learn more about the Java Discord API, what you can do is you can return to their release pages, which was github.com this release page right here that you see, and then if we go there and we can look at whatever release that we just downloaded and used in our project, and we can scroll down to documentation right here, and we can see Java docs right here. And this is going to give us a summary of every single different class and function within the Java Discord API. So if we wanted to click on one of these, for example, events point message react. So when someone, you can see it's got all the different events of, it shows you all the different classes within this events point message point react, and then you can go into one even farther down into here and you can see the constructor for it and the different methods that are involved. I hope you enjoyed this video today, and feel free to come join us on our forum, which you'll see in a link here, and also feel free to come join us on our Discord server. Thank you and have a good day.